the sinking of the Wilhelm Gustloff is widely regarded as the deadliest maritime disaster in history, surpassing even the Titanic in terms of loss of life, yet it remains far less known. The ship was launched in 1937 as part of the Nazi Strength Through Joy program, designed to offer affordable leisure cruises to German workers and to serve as a propaganda symbol of social unity under the regime. With the outbreak of World War II, its role changed drastically. It was first converted into a hospital ship and later used as a floating barracks for German naval personnel. By early 1945, the situation in Eastern Europe had become catastrophic for Germany, as the Soviet Red Army advanced rapidly into East Prussia, causing mass panic among civilians who feared occupation. In response, the German Navy initiated Operation Hannibal, one of the largest evacuation operations in history, aiming to transport soldiers and civilians across the Baltic Sea to safer areas in the West. On January 30, 1945, the Wilhelm Gustloff departed from the port of Gotenhafen, today Gdynia, Poland, heavily overcrowded. Although its official capacity was under 2,000 people, the chaos of evacuation led to an estimated 10,000 or more passengers being crammed aboard. These included thousands of civilians, many of them women and children, as well as wounded soldiers, naval cadets, and crew members. Conditions on board were extremely disorganized, with insufficient food, overcrowded sleeping areas, and confusion about safety procedures. The ship sailed into the freezing Baltic Sea during winter, facing harsh weather conditions, icy decks, and poor visibility. In a critical and controversial decision, the captain ordered the ship's navigation lights to be turned on to avoid collision with other German vessels in the area, inadvertently making it visible to enemy forces. That same evening, the Soviet submarine S-13, commanded by Alexander Marinsko, detected the illuminated ship. Recognizing it as a valuable target, Marinsko maneuvered into position and launched a salvo of torpedoes. 3 torpedoes struck the Wilhelm Gustloff in rapid succession, hitting the bow, the quarters housing naval personnel, and the engine room. The explosions caused immediate and catastrophic damage, disabling electrical systems, cutting off communications, and triggering rapid flooding. Panic spread instantly among the passengers, many of whom were already below deck and had little chance of escape. The ship quickly began to list, making movement difficult and evacuation chaotic. The situation on deck was equally desperate. Lifeboats were too few for the number of people on board, and many were frozen in place due to the extreme cold. Others were launched improperly, capsizing or leaving half-empty in the confusion. People were trampled, separated from family members, or trapped inside as corridors flooded. Within approximately 45 minutes, the massive ship slipped beneath the icy waters of the Baltic Sea. Thousands were thrown into the freezing ocean, where survival time was extremely short due to hypothermia, often lasting only minutes. Rescue efforts by nearby German vessels were limited and dangerous, as they risked further submarine attacks and had to operate in darkness and freezing conditions. In the end, only about 1,200 people were rescued, while an estimated 9,000 lost their lives, making it the greatest loss of life in a single ship sinking in history. Despite the enormity of the tragedy, it remained largely overlooked for decades, partly because it occurred during the final months of World War II and involved German victims at a time when global attention was focused on Nazi crimes. Only later did historians begin to fully acknowledge the scale and human suffering involved. Today, the sinking of the Wilhelm Gustloff stands as a powerful and tragic reminder of the chaos, desperation, and immense civilian cost that often accompany the final stages of war.